Hi, welcome back to Carrie Moody. Today is March 13th, 2024, and I'm here today to bring you a missing case of a 22-year-old college student named Riley Strain. Now, Riley is, like I said, 22. He was last seen last Friday night, so March 8th, at approximately 10 p.m. in downtown Nashville. He was last seen wearing brown square toe boots, blue jeans, and a black and white button-up shirt, as seen as in the picture here. Now, Riley's kind of unmistakable because he's 6'6", about 165 pounds, so he's very tall, pretty lanky, blonde hair, and brown eyes. Now, Riley was in Music City for a fraternity conference with his Delta Chi fraternity brothers over the weekend, and he went missing after getting kicked out of Luke Bryan's bar, 32 Bridge Food and Drink, on Friday night. So around 9:30, Riley and his friends were at Luke Bryan's bar, and Riley was asked to leave the bar. He was too intoxicated, and so he was asked to leave. Now, I guess one of his friends, at least, went to pay the bar tab to go with Riley, but security had already told Riley to leave the doorway area. And so when the friend finally was able to come out, Riley was gone. And he did talk once to his friends, called him, and he said he was on his way back to their hotel. Well, at 9:47, Riley is seen on camera walking across the street with a crowd of people. In at least one of the videos that was captured, he appears to be running, and then I believe he runs into a pole or something, but he appears very, very intoxicated. At 10:15 that night, his phone pinged by the sheriff's office and the river, so that's kind of the downtown area. Riley's friends have still not heard from him, but at least one of his hotel keys was found at the hotel. But they have no reason to believe that Riley ever made it to the hotel. Around 1:46 in the morning, Brandon Baltz, who is one of his fraternity brothers, called 911. But I guess they had called the wrong precinct. I'm not sure. Eventually, though, an officer comes out because they're standing right outside of that precinct. So this is kind of the path that Riley went. So you can see here that Luke's 32 bar is down here, and then that is on the main road in downtown Nashville. And so he walks down up 3rd Avenue Street. But you can see this is a complete opposite direction because his hotel is over here where it starred. So I'm guessing he was just very intoxicated. Maybe he doesn't know that area very well. I believe he's been to Nashville at least a couple times before based on photos I've seen. But anyway, he walked the wrong way. So he goes up 3rd Avenue, and then he turns right on Church Street. As he's turning right, he falls down. He's seen walking around 9:45. Then he crosses a corner, and I have the video clips of all of the footage that the police department has put out there. So then you can see finally his last phone pinged was all the way up by the Riverfront Park at the bridge right there. So he was last seen on surveillance video by Jefferson Street Bridge. And when his phone pinged, that was about 30 to 45 minutes after he had left Luke Bryan's bar. So I have a couple of video clips here. Let's watch these real quick.
Tonight, a desperate search continues for a college student visiting Nashville over the weekend who just disappeared. No one has seen or heard from Riley Strain for 4 days now. Hi, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston. We've been in constant communication with Metro Police as they work to find the 22-year-old. News Channel 5's Hunter Hoagland talked with Riley's family. This as new clues might help investigators narrow the search.
Yeah, I'm standing in the spot where Riley Strain was last seen. He was picked up on surveillance video walking across this crosswalk Friday night. And what made it so hard for me to watch was that you could tell he was headed directly towards the Cumberland River. We so badly want Riley to be found, which is why we are showing you these two new pieces of video here tonight. Take a look. That's Riley Strain there in the two-tone shirt crossing First Avenue onto Gay Street. It was captured Friday night at 9:47. Just 6 minutes before his phone went silent.
We talk every day, multiple times a day. And this is the longest I've ever gone without talking to him. It's devastating. I just want to hug him.
We know from his parents and police that Riley was drinking with friends at Luke Bryan's bar on Broadway when he was kicked out. His parents tell me he was in town with 50 of his fraternity brothers from Mizzou. Not one of them left the bar with Riley to make sure he was okay.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little hard to know that somebody didn't go with or,
it would be
whatever.
hard to
We
not
obtained
be
exclusive
angry.
video showing the moments after he left the bar.
He's
Security
just
cameras
stumbling
picked
so
up the
bad.
22-year-old on Church Street before crossing First Avenue. He appears to be stumbling down the sidewalk as he heads into this camera here, just yards away from the Cumberland River. Police sent search crews into the water Tuesday, trying to find any sign of the missing senior from Mizzou. But with 4 nights of no answers, his family is just hoping he's alive.
Please help. If anybody knows anything, please just call the police. Please.
Anything.
Anything, even if it's small. Please, just call the police.
A tough interview to listen to there. Friends and family are holding a prayer vigil tomorrow in Springfield, Missouri, praying that Riley is found. We want that too. If you have any information or videos showing where Riley went, you're asked to call police. In Nashville tonight, I'm Hunter Hoagland. Rory, back to you.
Thank you, Hunter. Again, Riley should be easy to spot. He is 6 feet 7 inches tall. He has light brown to blonde hair and blue eyes. We did reach out to Luke Bryan's bar on Broadway for a comment, but so far we haven't heard back.
So real quick, his mother, you can tell she is absolutely crushed. She's terrified. She's just beside herself. Compare that to how Madeline Soto's mom acted in her interviews. Big, huge difference. This is how a terrified mother that does not know where their child is, that is how you act. So I have a few of those clips of him walking. They're just very brief. So I believe this was right after he left the bar and he walked across the street. So sad. When I saw this last night, my heart, it just broke, especially watching the mom's interview. But this kid, 22, he's got the whole world, in the palm of his hands. And then this. So this is another one. He comes walking with just a group of people, which is very normal for that time, that area. So sad. Then there's another one of them close up. I mean, he can't even stand up, let alone walk. Now, there is a lot of talk about people being roofied in the bars in downtown Nashville. I'm not saying that that's what happened. I mean, it's always a possibility. To me, and I know his family seems to think he may have been drugged. To me, he just seems extremely, extremely intoxicated. And the bartender, the bar, the staff should have cut him off way sooner than what they did. And I imagine there's going to be some issues with that because legally they shouldn't have been still serving him. So my guess is there will be some problems that arise for that bar. The next thing I have is the 911 call that his friend called in. So let's take a listen to that.
Yeah, that's very much. So now the Central Police, precinct. The Central Police precinct on. Okay, there. So 1 Korean Veterans Boulevard and down. Yeah. Right across from the Music City Center. Yeah. Okay. Were you police officer to come and speak to you? Yeah, we can wait for an officer here. Okay, what's the phone number you're calling from? Of my phone? Yes, in case we needed to reach you back, what is the best number to reach you at? And what is your name, sir? Brayden. And your last name? Balpz. Okay. And who is it that you're wanting to report as missing? We're here on it's one of my good buddies. Okay. What is his name? His name is Riley Strain. Riley, R-I-L-E-Y, Strain, S-T-R-A-I-N. Okay. Is he white, black, Hispanic, Asian? He's white. 22-year-old. 6'5" blonde. Okay. And what was he last seen wearing? Outside of Luke Bryan's bar last night at like 10, and then location on his phone was by the sheriff's office. Okay, and what color clothing was he last seen wearing? He's wearing jeans, boots, and a half black shirt, half. You said it last showed outside the sheriff's department? Like around that area by the river, by the sheriff's department over there.
So they're talking about his Snapchat.
Okay. Does he have any life-sustaining medications or disabilities? No. And what is, you said he has a phone, so it's a cell phone, right? Yeah, it's an iPhone 15 Pro Max. What is the number? But it's, hold on. Give me 1 second, I got you.
His friend doesn't sound inebriated at all in comparison to how we've seen, Riley walking. He sounds fairly sober. So this is just News Nation, and the videos show him stumbling and falling as he runs through downtown. Just a moment. Let me get that fixed. All right. So authorities have released surveillance video that shows the missing student. He's from Missouri, Riley Strain, who's been missing since he was kicked out of a bar. The footage shows Strain crossing from First Avenue North to Gage Street, wearing the same black and brown shirt his friends say that he was wearing the night he disappeared. It was taken, the footage, about 9:47 p.m. Now, another clip of surveillance footage came from downtown Smoke and Vape Shop, and that was taken at 9:46 p.m. Friday night. It shows him running through the downtown area, stumbling, and at one point falling on the sidewalk. So a helicopter did search that area a couple of days ago, and they didn't find anything. They did search the riverbank. They have detectives on the ground. They've had divers in the river because that river runs almost that whole length down those roads that he was walking. And people have sadly fallen into that river. So the detectives are continuing to pursue tips and any investigative leads concerning Riley Strain, 22 years old. Again, he was wearing a two-tone shirt. And in this video, he was crossing First Avenue to North Gage Street. So here he comes right now across the road. It was right behind that van. He just kind of stood there, looked around, kind of dumbfounded. Now he's stumbling. He's really disoriented. And you can see that river there in the background. So Riley was in Nashville for what the university said was a fraternity conference. He was last seen by friends when he was kicked out of Luke Bryan's bar at about 9:30 p.m. for being overserved. A friend said he tried to go with Riley, but security stopped him. He was at the bar with fraternity brothers from the Delta Chi fraternity, and his friends said they got separated and lost sight of him. They were unable to find him using his location on Snapchat, and unfortunately, his phone went straight to voicemail. Also, obviously, he was not found at their hotel. So this is another picture of Riley. As you can tell, he is very tall, pretty lanky, and says while Strain told friends he would see them back at the hotel, his phone location pinged in the opposite direction. His mom said she and her son, they talk every day and that it's not typical for him to fail to communicate. She said that she was receiving messages Friday night before he disappeared. In fact, I think she said that he FaceTimed her about an hour and a half before all of this happened. Him and his buddy were having a good time, and he just wanted to show me that he was having a good time, said his mom. Police in Nashville, of course, they have checked hospitals and jails with no luck. And of course, his phone's off, so any attempts to use his phone to find him have failed. The search has involved drones, helicopters, ground searches in the area near the Cumberland River. Boats are also being used to search the river for any sign of Riley Strain. Now, the family is also in contact with Apple in hopes of using his Apple Watch to pinpoint his location. But I saw a comment from his mother this morning, and she said that they have to go through the courts. So they have to get a warrant to be able to get that information from Apple, because Apple makes it very, very difficult in these instances. Again, he's 6'7" with a thin build, brown hair, and blue eyes. He was wearing a shirt with black and brown patches on it the night that he was last seen. Again, it was this past Friday night that he was last seen. Anyone with information, even business owners, anybody that's got CCTV footage, if you happen to have seen him stumbling and walking, they're asking that you give them a call, the 615-862-8600. It's such it's horrible, sad situation. Here's another interview from his parents. This was a really good interview. Now, it's his parents and then Step. So I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the mom is his biological mom. The dad with her is the stepdad. And then his biological dad and stepmother are also here in this interview.
That you're living through right now. I mean, as his parents, I mean, mom and dad, this moment must not even feel real to you.
No, it's something that it's your worst nightmare, really.
Yes, I think that's his bio.
Are there
dad.
any new leads this morning from police or Riley's fraternity brothers that we may not be privy to?
We haven't had any update yet this morning. We're hoping to have something within the next hour to kind of give us a little more insight of where we need to focus our efforts today.
Mm-hmm. I understand his friends told police they had last seen him at Luke Bryan's bar on Broadway about 9:45, 10 p.m. when he got kicked out of the bar. I mean, have you learned more about why he was kicked out? Had he been fighting with someone? What have you learned there?
No fighting. It was the bartender just said he'd been overserved. And when they took him out, his friend was trying to go out with him, but they would not let him at that point. He finally got out, and when he got out, he was no longer there. One of the other guys called him, and he said he was going back to the hotel room.
And no word from him since. Michelle, I understand he called you from one of the venues on Friday night about 9 o'clock. I mean, this would have been about an hour before he disappeared. What was the last conversation you had with Riley?
He FaceTimed me at it was 7:45, between 7:45 and 8:15. And he was just, him and his buddy were having a good time. And he just wanted me to show me that he was having a good time and just wanted to talk to his mom.
Heartbreaking.
I understand y'all have a very close relationship. You
So
talk
he did
multiple times a
FaceTime
day.
her
I mean, did
about an hour
anything
and a
sound
half
out of the
before,
ordinary or
he was
any
kicked out
red
of the
flags
bar.
that you picked up on? Plans in the evening that he shared with you?
Nothing.
Nothing. He was sending me texts after we FaceTimed. And, Mom, I love you. Have a good night. And sending me pictures from the different bars that they were going to show me they were having a good time.
Mm-hmm. And letting you know he was safe and just enjoying himself.
gosh, you can tell she is absolutely destroyed. I can imagine. So Luke Bryan has made a statement. Now, keep in mind, when those restaurants typically, they're just like leasing his name, but they all have a restaurant group that manages them. So usually the star, in this case, Luke Bryan, doesn't have a whole lot to actually do with it. But on his Instagram, he said, "Y'all, this is scary. Praying for his safe return. TC Restaurant Group, operator and owner of Luke's 32 Bridge, is continuing to work closely with the Metro Nashville Police Department to provide security camera footage and any other potentially helpful information to aid in the search for Riley Strain. Said our thoughts are with his family and loved ones for his safe return." And then these are just some more images of Riley. If you guys would, please share his information. It's hard telling what has happened. But this kid, he's doing it all right. And if they're going to be kicking people out of a bar because they overserved them, of course, it's, the person's responsibility. But sometimes when you drink so much, you don't realize you even drank that much, right? So, if they were kicking him out, any bar, then they should make sure that the person at least is going to leave safely. How did they throw him out of the bar, seeing how he was in that condition, and they knew his friends were inside still? It's just a very, very sad situation. I truly pray that they find Riley quickly and that he's safe. You guys, please keep his family and his friends in your thoughts, your prayers. Try to avoid placing blame on his friends, because no doubt they're probably just overridden with guilt. They are. These guys, a lot of them have been friends for quite some time. So, all right. With that is Riley Strain, 22 years old, last seen Friday night, leaving Luke Bryan's bar in Nashville, Tennessee. I hope he's found soon. You guys, you have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Stay safe. Look out for one another. If you see something, please say something. Bye-bye.